So what you're saying is I can go home and tell my wife that I'm going to put some time on my calendar to play video games.
If she will allow you to, and that's what you want.
All right. No, I'm telling her you said it. You know, Nancy. I do. She respects you, and so I just need you to ride with me on this one, please, Lil. Please, Lil, just ride with me on this.
But would she go with that? I mean, would that something that you do together? Would you allow both of you allow that? She would not allow it, so that would not be on the list.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Break That Cycle, where we help you turn your obstacles into opportunities. I am your host, Bill Cheney, and today I have a very special guest here with me, Lillian Paquette. We're going using government names.
Yeah.
But I know you as Lil, and
Yes.
I know you from Mary and Martha House.
Correct.
And you started with Mary and Martha House before I did.
Correct.
And this was in 2020?
2020.
2020. Mm-hmm. And before that, you were with Choices. Is that correct?
I was with Choices.
And did you were an accountant with them as well?
Yes. I started off with customer service and then went into accounting.
And we were lucky enough to poach you, I guess. Yeah. And it was supposed to be was it supposed to be a part-time gig from what I heard?
It was supposed to be help.
Help.
Yeah.
Help turned into a full-time job?
Yes, it did. It did.
And so you've been here for quite a few years now.
Yeah,
you're one of the higher tenured employees that we have here.
I've been here for 6 years.
Yeah. And you do the job that 90% of people don't want to do, and that's manage the numbers.
Correct.
How do you find that job fulfilling because of what we do?
Numbers have always been my thing. So I've been in banking. I was in banking for 14 plus years in banking, worked my way up from file clerk to a manager of a small bank. Mm-hmm. And it's always been a love of mine to see how the numbers fit together and work together and all that. And I did take accounting in college. However, it just wasn't the same back then it is now.
Right.
And of course, programs change and they go on, and so you have to adapt.
Online.
So now you have to adapt to whatever's in front of you.
Yeah.
And so I just love seeing the bottom numbers, and I love seeing how the numbers transform together and to make a pretty picture.
Yeah.
And so it's like, or it could make a negative picture.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
But bottom line stuff is my thing.
Yeah.
So I enjoy doing the numbers. I enjoy, cutting and pasting and doing whatever it takes to make it look good.
Yeah. And I know I've told you many times, and as the employees as a group, but I'll say it publicly to everyone out there, you do a great job.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate everything that you do.
Thank you.
But you do something pretty cool outside of work.
Yes.
And you, throughout time, have evolved what started as a Bible study.
Correct.
But evolved into more of just a community of ladies that can get together, be real, talk about things without judgment, and maybe get some advice, maybe just vent. And you started doing this on Tuesday nights.
Correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. So one of my favorite days of the week is Wednesday, because Wednesday morning I get a recap. And disclaimer, she doesn't share any names or anything. It's just the topics, because I find your topics fascinating. And when we started the idea for Break That Cycle, it's always in the back of my mind. I'm like, I need to get Lil on an episode, because you and I will honestly sit on Wednesday morning and recap what the topic was. And because I love talking about it too. Yeah. I think some of the topics and things that you come up with, and you're facilitating this this group. Some of these topics are really amazing, and I could go on forever talking about it and listening and hearing and learning. And so I'm happy we were able to do this. We do have a few topics to talk about, some a little earlier, some a little more recent. But the first one I want to talk about has to do with roles in the relationship. And we have talked about this one before, but luckily for me, my memory is really, really bad. So it's going to be like talking for the first time about it. So you're going to probably hear some of the same things I always say over and over again. But one thing that struck me about when you said roles or roles in the relationship, the first thing that popped into my head is wedding day, right? And after the vows are said, the priest or the pastor or whoever's, I guess, I don't know.
Facilitating or officiating.
Officiating, yes, the officiant. That's an actual word.
Yeah.
That person says, you are now man and wife.
Correct.
Okay. That really bugs me. It bugs me because the use of the words man and wife to me represents property. There's an individual, this is his thing, right? I know it's not meant to be like that. This is where my mind goes. But during our conversation, we talked about some really cool things other than that. So what was, I guess, one of the highlights, can you remember, from that topic that you guys had that one night where you talked about the roles in the relationship?
First of all, I want to put a disclaimer in there. It is still a Bible study class.
Oh, okay.
It is still that way.
Okay.
However, it does venture out into other things
Sure.
on occasion. So that's just the first disclaimer. Secondly, I wanted to point out that man and wife, I don't like when they say man and wife, and just as you don't either, because it puts a role on you. It's like, you are a man, now you are a woman, and now you have different roles. Right. So when you go into a marriage, you automatically think, okay, as in olden days, the woman does the cooking and the cleaning and takes care of the kids and all that, and the man provides financially and all that, where they're missing the middle part.
Right.
All the little intricacies that are in the middle are missed.
Right. And this is stuff we learn as children because we grow up seeing this.
Correct.
The same as our parents did, the same as their parents did. And this is a cycle that we, like to address.
So when you use the word role, you're actually going back into your childhood. And you're thinking, my mom and my dad and what they did. And so you think that your life has to be mimic the role that you saw when you were growing up.
Right.
So my mom and dad, for example, they weren't American when they came in. They're Italian. They came off, from Sicily.
Sure.
And
Mob
learning
Mob ties? Can't say. Sorry, you can't. I've asked that before.
But yes, but watching them lead and guide the family was very, very difficult, because there were 6 of us, for one thing, all in one house, and
6 kids or
6 children.
Oh my God.
6 children in the house.
Okay.
I was the oldest girl in that. I have 2 half sisters, but they were already gone by that time.
Okay.
So in thinking of the way I was raised and knowing that my mom had, she was basically a puppet. My dad pulled all the strings. He did everything. He said, you do this, 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 and this. My mom said, yes, 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 yes. And she did all of those things, took care of the kids and all that. When it came to a point where my mom had to go to work, she went to work. And then, of course, the roles reversed to us as far as picking up the slack where she couldn't.
Sure.
Which is normal in a household, right? But my dad still had the strings.
Okay.
My dad still pulled those strings. And so looking back now in my life and all that, those tendencies still tend to come back.
Sure.
On occasion.
Sure.
On occasion. Is my life anything like that it was before? No, it's not. I mean, luckily I have a wonderful husband who has taught me some things. and taught me how to acclimate to a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so when you think about those roles, you only think about what you know.
Yeah.
Or what you were taught.
Yep.
And so to change that is like little baby steps that come into the world of the unknown. And so we work on where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Where do we go from this point and moving on to a better life?
Yeah.
A better life.
Now let me ask. Well, first, shout out to Mr. Lil. But let me ask you, when you were a child and you were watching that dynamic between your parents,
Mm-hmm.
did it mean anything to you at the time? Like, did you get any feeling at all? And you're like, this isn't right. It shouldn't be like this.
I just remember saying that I didn't want to be that way.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how old you were around that time when you were like, this isn't for me?
I'm probably a teenager.
Okay.
Probably in teenager status mode, just really getting my feet wet with boyfriends and all that, knowing that I didn't want to be that way.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be on my own quicker than I could have been.
Yeah.
So let's move out so I can get started on doing what I want to do.
Curious, was there a factor or something that led you to say, I don't want my relationship to be like that? Was there outside influence? Maybe a friend, maybe the movies? I mean, it could be anything, but was there, because if there was no other influence other than a gut feeling, again, that's your normal life. That's what normal is for you. You wouldn't think of anything different.
I had a really good girlfriend in high school who we would trade secrets with and, special things together. And I trusted her with everything. I saw her life and I saw the way she was raised and I saw the love between the family and the mom and dad and the kids.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, why can't I have a life like that? And maybe I can in the future.
Yeah.
But watching them and all of a sudden she became my maid of honor at my wedding.
No.
Because she meant that much to me.
That's your girl, yeah.
Yeah, she meant that much to me. And we still converse even now today.
Yeah.
And we have talks about those days.
Yeah.
Only to find out, that underneath it all, her life wasn't all that great. She was loved, obviously.
Yeah.
And really what was underneath didn't really matter because what was on the surface is what I saw.
Yeah.
And so I was craving the love.
Yeah.
I was craving the love and I wasn't seeing it. I wasn't finding it.
Yeah.
And so I told myself as I get older and when I do have a family, I didn't want to be that way.
Yeah. So do you remember what the opening question or what the opening prompt was that night, that Tuesday night that you had the one on roles in the relationship? I
remember her mom loaning me a book. And I don't remember the name of the book, but I remember her loaning it to me. And she said, if you're having issues at home, read this. Mm-hmm. And so I remember reading it, and it was all about female feelings and the do's and don'ts of adulthood. Okay. And I remember reading that and saying, why did she give me this? And she was just, her mom was very loving, and she was loving towards me as well.
Sure.
And so the more she handed me, the more she gave me, the more I wanted.
Yeah.
The more she got into my gut, into my heart, the more I wanted to be like that. And the more I craved the love and the attention that she was able to give.
Yeah.
I had my father had a brother too that was like that as well. He would come over every Sunday with him and his wife. He had the most sensitive, most wonderful, loving heart. And I was thinking, why can't my dad be that way?
Oh.
Because he would come over and they would have, whatever they do on Sunday. And I just sat there and thinking,
yeah,
he's going to leave and he's going to go home. And that's like, back to the old world. Yeah.
So moving forward, you get into relationships and you're going through it, looking at these stereotypical roles in that marriage where the man is the hunter and the female is takes care of the home. What did you do to start implementing well, first let's talk about those stereotypes, right? The generation above my mother worked, but it was because she wanted to work. She had a passion for physical therapy, and so and this is coming from an abusive husband who was. I really don't remember much about the guy, but he owned a gas station with a workshop, car shop attached to it, and so. But he was always at work. I barely saw the guy, so my mom, she had a passion for physical therapy, and then after she left him, she was left on her own, and so she was working her butt off. She was working 2 jobs, take care of after school care and stuff like that, and just to pay normal bills. So she took on every role at that point. It was everything. She was my mother and my father. She taught me how to shave. So she taught me how to throw a ball. And so I kind of grew up not seeing those roles per se, because when my mother remarried, she was already established. She's already working, and now we have a dual income.
Right.
So what was that? How did you take your experience and translate it into what you wanted and what you eventually found in a relationship?
Well, first of all, it wasn't perfect.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of work. A lot of work because I was very headstrong. And it wasn't in a good way. I became very rebellious.
Okay.
And I became a person that you wouldn't want. You don't know that person sitting here.
I don't believe you.
No, yeah.
Give me an example.
Well, if you want, I was called the Wicked Witch on Wheels. So
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. However, I had to be talked to quite a bit about why do you feel that way?
Yeah.
What's going on with you? Why is this happening to you? Why can't you get out of this?
Yeah.
I tell you, it's only by the grace of God and Jeff that I was able to see myself in a different way. And so I began to realize that the word role is insignificant in a marriage. It should not even be in there.
Sure.
It shouldn't be in there. It's like I anticipate and I expect certain things when you say this is your role and this is what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot of that from Jeff. Now you have to understand this is years later because I didn't even like him in the very beginning.
Right. I remember that.
So there's a story there too. But knowing that he was kind and very loving and caring and had a heart bigger than I could ever imagine. He started to talk to me as an adult and started to say that, these things that you're feeling are not you. You're not that person. This is what I see in you.
What type of person did you think you were?
Evil.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't think of myself as, and the more I got into it, the meaner I got.
Okay.
So I thought everybody was out to get me for whatever reason, but it didn't even matter.
Okay.
And so I always walked around with this ugly, mean face. I didn't want to be around anybody. And I didn't care. And those people are this or that or whatever. And Jeff we sat down one day and he says, what's wrong? What's going on? I don't see you that way. Why are you not that way with me?
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have answers like that. It's like, I don't know what I'm mad at the world, It's like,
how dare you expect me to be introspective?
I'm mad at the world. I'm not mad at, it's just like, they.
You want to see the other side, buddy? It's coming.
No, it was just one of those things. And the more he talked, the more I began to see a different side that I could become. We had hours of conversation. Nobody ever did that.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
and if anybody ever did, it was more of like, what have you done? What kind of things did you do that you did that wrong? Or, it was never anything, not everything great, something to say that, you're wonderful. You have all these characteristics in you that you could gain from. You could do anything you wanted to if you put your mind and heart to it, know? And Jeff was the only one that did that for me.
Mm.
And as I sat down with him.
That was the love you were looking for.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't have and what I was looking. And anyways, as he started to talk to me about these, I started realizing that there's a different side to this man. There's a different side to this man that I didn't see before.
Sure.
So I wanted a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know how that came about. How are you that person? and it should be me.
Yeah.
You're a guy.
Yeah.
You're not. A woman should be the one that's loving and caring and all that, but it's you instead. Yeah. It's almost like a role reversal at that point. And so began to love myself. And I started to care more about who I am. I became more of a woman than just a person walking the street. I began to change the way I look. I began to change my clothing. I began to change how I talk to people. And it wasn't an overnight sensation. Sure. I can tell you that much.
Sure.
So, and I began.
Were you like in full goth wear?
No.
Like all black, spiky hair?
No. Okay. No, gosh, my mom would kill me. No. I wasn't that way, but I wore, jeans and flannel shirts and work boots.
Okay.
Like that kind of thing that, it was the in thing in school. That's what the women wore, and that's what I wanted to be. And I wanted to be in the in.
Rebellious.
And yeah. So I would go to school. I'd wear those clothes and bring another set of clothes and change before I go home.
Oh, okay.
Just call me rebellious. That's what I did. And so I didn't have to do that anymore with Jeff.
Yeah.
It's like I became that. And there's just a guy that likes to go shopping. It's like, even I don't like to shop, but he likes to shop. And he would say, try that on, do this. It's like, no, try it on.
Yeah.
Try it. Just try it.
Well, I think you found somebody who was invested in you.
Yes.
And not just as a couple, but he was invested in you as a person, right? Mm-hmm. And again, that was something that you probably lacked in your childhood. Mm-hmm. And sounds like shades of your uncle. Somebody that you look up to, you admired the way that they walk, and how they talk, and so that goes a long way. Mm-hmm. And you guys have been married for how long now?
44 years
44
this year.
Years.
Yeah, Congrats. So it's amazing, and it's an amazing journey. With this man,
Now let me ask you: have during and we're almost at the end of this segment, so we'll leave with this. In your 44 years, has there ever been an incident where you thought, oh crap, we're putting roles on this relationship?
I can tell you from expectations. Like there was a time when I flew off the handle and I expected more than he could ever even give me.
Okay.
And so it was a shouting match that came out, and it was very difficult to get through that time.
Sure.
To the point where I didn't speak with him for 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
And then he didn't even know why. So it was like mismatched. We were mismatched.
Sure.
Here I'm feeling this, and he didn't even know what's going on. He didn't feel it, and then all of a sudden, he comes to me and he says, tell me what is going on. What is going on with you? And then I had to tell him why I was upset. And he goes, you mean to tell me you were upset over that? And you were 2 weeks now, you didn't talk to me over that? Yeah. It's like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Anyway, so those are the things that I was like, I just expected more. And I shouldn't. It shouldn't be, marriage shouldn't be, it's not a two-way street. It's one way, both of you. It's 100%. It's not 50-50. And it's like we go all in or we go all out. And it shouldn't be that way. And so when we consider, we don't do that now. Every once in a while it does come in because I do like to give the silent treatment because it works.
Well, don't give away your secrets.
It works.
He might watch this. And now he's good. Oh, okay.
He knows. He knows. But I have caught myself and I try not to do it anymore.
Yeah.
I try not to do it anymore. And we don't get mad like we used to get mad.
Yeah.
We don't get upset. We hardly ever argue.
Yeah.
And so the key was the communication. It's like when you can sit down and genuinely have a communication, you have gold.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can discuss and you can talk about anything, anywhere, and nothing, and still have that wonderful relationship between the two.
Yeah.
And that's where we shine.
Nice.
That's now coming up to where it's like,
to get to 44, I think you have to.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a choice at this point.
Yeah. But I can't say it was all roses. It was not ever that way,
Sure.
And we had those little, speed bumps along the way that came up, and family and children that, eat at you for one reason or another,
Yeah.
But it's how you get through those and how you get over those little life challenges that make you better.
Yeah. No.
And so we are where we are right now because of all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have more topics to discuss, and we're going to get into those. We're going to take one quick break. On the other side, Lil and I are going to discuss some more topics that she has at her Tuesday night group. But first, a message from both Lil and I's favorite organization, our sponsors, Mary and Martha House. We'll be right back.
Mary and Martha House is a beacon of hope. For over 4 decades, it continues to shine brightly and illuminate the path towards a better future for countless women and families in need. Since our humble beginnings in 1982, we have dedicated ourselves wholeheartedly to the noble cause of helping those affected by domestic violence and homelessness. Did you know that every day in communities all around us, 1 in 4 women and 1 in 15 children face the terrifying reality of domestic violence? Compassion is the cornerstone of everything we do. We approach each person with a deep understanding of their unique struggles and needs. We foster an environment where respect and appreciation are not just words, but guiding principles that shape our interactions and relationships. Each member of our dedicated team is held to the highest standard, ensuring that compassion guides every aspect of our work. Mary and Martha House is a place where hope takes root, love blossoms, and lives are forever changed.
Please spread the word. Help raise awareness about Mary and Martha House by sharing their mission, success, stories, and upcoming events on social media. By amplifying their message, you can reach a wider audience and encourage others to get involved or make a donation. Please remember, even the smallest act of kindness can make a significant difference in the lives of those in need.
Do you still provide snacks at your groups?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
What's a common snack?
Fruit.
Nice and easy.
Grapes, tangerines.
You just grab it from the store, throw it on a platter, and say go for it.
Sometimes it's cheese and crackers.
Do you ever make them bring anything?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they should chip.
They do. I mean, birthday cake, whatever.
Yeah.
Chips and dip.
Yeah. Are you the group that you have now? Would you consider them close friends?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you find it, because you're the one facilitating this, you're not necessarily driving conversation, you're kind of, from what you've told me, you're throwing a topic out,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and it's like throwing chum in the water, and then everyone's like, and then they start the conversation, and you can pivot if needed to, like if it's getting out of hand or it's just a bunch of rambling, or if you're getting off
Correct.
topic, you're there for that.
Correct.
Do you find it hard to be in that position when everyone is your friend, or do you think they feed off of that?
No, I don't find it hard at all because facilitator knows when it's going off topic.
Sure.
And knows how to reel it back in.
Yeah.
We are doing a Bible study this time, and the Bible study is called the Tribes of Israel. And we're going through each tribe. There's 12, and the first tribe is called Reuben. And so we were discussing Reuben, and Reuben comes around like a story.
Okay.
You know, he's had, Reuben was married to Leah, and Leah had 6 children. 3 of them are biological. Oh, where did all the rest of them come from? You know, that kind of thing.
Right.
And so we were discussing all that, and it did go into a different topic. And it was okay to do that because there was a couple people that were in the group that needed
to hear
to go a different way.
Sure. Okay.
And so sometimes it does that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does that. And because the topic was getting a little intense, we let it go because it was a need.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when people needs to unload, or you need to discuss your innermost feelings,
yeah,
it's okay to just let them go.
And when you know someone well enough, in conversation, you can tell when it's time to change the subject for them, or point in a different direction, or to let them sit with it.
Yeah.
And to let that marinate.
Yeah.
And I that obviously comes with good camaraderie between you and the people in your group.
Right.
And I think I just think it's cool what you do.
Yeah.
So the next topic on, I don't know what I want to call the episode yet. Maybe just the Wednesday recap.
Yeah. There you go.
The next on the Wednesday recap list had to do with entitlements in a relationship.
Right.
So kind of back to one of the primitive roles. I'm the man of the house. When I come home, dinner better be ready.
Yeah.
You better have my uniform pressed for the next day.
Yeah.
Like those types of entitlements. But they go both ways, and it comes with different perspectives and different mindsets and different upbringings. So how did this topic come about for you guys?
Entitlements in a relationship. Now, we understand that we're not all married in this group. There are some single women. There are some. Nobody has any problem discussing anything in the group.
Okay.
You know, they don't. So
could make for some fun times.
It could be. It could be. And I like that because there's a lot of trust.
That's why you get the real honest.
It's a lot of trust.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about entitlement, 3 things came up. It's like entitlement would be excessive entitlement, restrictive entitlement, and then assertive entitlement.
Please explain.
Where's your goal? Okay. Your goal is to get to assertive.
Okay.
Assertive. So before you go into that, you have to understand what these 3 mean. So when you're talking about excessive entitlement, you're talking about a person that is all about themselves. So if you're in a marriage and you have one person that's all about themselves and they're all gloating about what they do and how they do things, and they're putting themselves on pedestals and stuff like that, they feel like they're entitled to all of the hoopla that goes along with all of that.
Yeah.
While the other person is feeling left out, alone, traumatized maybe by some of this. So that's one thing. When you talk about restrictive entitlements, you're talking about a person that is very restrained, that is goes along with whatever the other person is saying or wants to do or wants to talk about, and they're ignoring their own feelings. They ignore their own feelings. They don't want to talk. A lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
And then you have assertive entitlements. Well, assertive entitlements would be somebody that both of you are holding a calendar. Both of you are doing things together. You're actually going. Somebody's taking the notes, and the other one is, you're referring back and forth. You're taking time together. You're putting on your calendar some quiet time. You're allowing the husband or the wife to go do something that they like to do, whether it be on their own or together.
So what you're saying is I can go home and tell my wife that I'm going to put some time on my calendar to play video games?
If she will allow you to, and that's what you want.
All right. No, I'm telling her you said it. You know, Nancy. I do. She respects you, and so I just need you to ride with me on this one, please, Lil. Please, Lil, just ride with me on this.
But would she go with that? I mean, would that something that you do together? Would you allow both of you allow that? She would not allow it, so that would not be on the list.
All right.
So I had to find something else. Like, I like to go out with the girls every once in a while. It's not often.
Yeah.
But when I do, I want his approval to be able to do that so that he can find time to do something that he wants to do in the meantime while I'm gone. I
want to tap into that real quick, and this might derail this entire conversation, but that is a real thing. Mm-hmm. Where in a relationship, and I have felt this, and I know other people have felt this as well, is that if you do want to go off and do things on your own and not involve the other, that partner, mm-hmm. that's for some reason that's frowned upon, right? And I grew up like this with this mentality, mm-hmm. was that if I was going to do anything outside of the house, my wife needed to be involved. And I don't know if that's like a hypercorrection because my dad was never involved. At least my biological father was never involved. My stepdad who adopted me, who I call my dad now, he was always working. Mm-hmm. So anything that we were doing, we were doing a lot without him anyway. Mm-hmm. But and now I've gotten to a point in the relationship that I have with Nancy is I'll go out and me and my buddy will go motorcycle riding, mm-hmm. and we'll be out for pretty much the whole day. Mm-hmm. I let her know in as much advance as I can remember, which sometimes could be a day. But hey, me and Avery are going out riding this mm-hmm. Sunday or next Saturday mm-hmm. or wherever. And she's like, okay, cool. Well, then she starts planning stuff for her day, whether she wants to just mm-hmm. sit at home, read mm-hmm. a book, go mm-hmm. out, get nails done, mm-hmm. But then, there are times where she wants to catch up with her friends. And she has told me that same thing. She will feel guilty about going out with her friends because I'm not involved. Mm-hmm. This stems from previous relationships that she's had mm-hmm. that they have made her feel bad about it too. Mm-hmm. So I want to let's dive into that a little bit.
Okay, well let's do a recap.
Yeah.
Because what Jeff and I do is a recap.
Okay.
So what we do is we have a calendar.
Yep.
And sometimes things don't work out exactly the way a calendar is, right?
Sure.
So on a certain day, we'll sit down and we'll say, well, this is what's going on this week, as we do in our meetings.
Yeah.
Something similar. What's going on for you this week? Mm-hmm. Same thing. We do that. So we'll have a recap. So we'll tell them, what are you doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever days? This is what I have planned. I'm not sure they're going to play out that way, mm-hmm. but this is what my plans are. Okay, what do we have on the weekend? Big time, because the weekends are our time.
Yeah.
This is when we do things together.
Right.
But, weekend, I'm going out with my girlfriend on this day. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Yes, no, whatever. Don't forget we have to do this instead. Oh, I forgot. So let me reschedule the friend thing. And so we have that recap. And then
now is this something physically you do? Like
yes.
once a week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We sit down. I'm that assertive one that sits down with a calendar and says, what are we doing?
Pull up a chair.
How are we doing? Yes. Where are we going? Do you want to do this?
Right.
But I have to also be very careful about making time for us.
Sure.
Together.
Yeah.
Like this week is a nightmare.
I know you're saying.
This week was really, really busy. Really busy.
Thank you very much for coming.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I know you were busy.
It's really busy, but this week, it's not all the time,
sure.
but just so happens that this week it's like that. So I've got to find time on the weekend so that the two of us can have some time together, whether we sit at home and we do nothing, or whether we go have coffee somewhere, or whatever we want to do at that time.
Yeah.
To get back to your question in reference to feeling guilty and not feeling guilty, I used to be that way.
Yeah.
I used to be that way. I was like, oh man, here I am going out and he doesn't have any guy friends, or he's got all the guy friends and I don't have any girlfriends.
Do you think it's because you're talking about it beforehand, so you're not like springing it on them?
Yes.
There's a minor, as minor as it needs to be, discussion on it, but are you still seeking the approval though?
I do.
Yeah.
I do, because I don't know what's going on with him.
Sure.
It's like, so if I'll ask, let's say Sally wants to go out on Saturday and we're going to go shopping from this time to this time. He knows I wouldn't go anyways because I don't like shopping. But let's just say it is, It's like, we're going to go shopping from this time to this time. And he goes, and he says, oh, but remember, we have this and this. And I say, okay, well, nix that.
What if he didn't? What if if you guys didn't have anything planned, but he still said, I'd rather you not?
We'd have to discuss it, and we'd have to say, well, why?
Yeah.
What's the problem? Do you have something you want to do? Is it something you want to go to? Do you have plans that I don't know about?
Yeah.
Are you going to surprise me with something?
Which he's been known to do.
He's done it a couple times.
Yes.
Not often, but he has.
In a good way. Not like bad surprises.
No.
Like he's a loving guy. Yeah.
Yeah. But not often does he say no.
Yeah.
And the same thing with him. If he wants to go to Buffalo Wild Wings and have dinner with his guy friends, and have a beer, it's like, okay, go. So I think the thing between the two, when making a decision with that, is the trust issue. It's like, you're going out. Am I trusting you with these people? Do I know these people enough to trust you to go? And do I know these people enough to trust you? Or can I say, hey, I don't know about that guy. I don't know about that girl.
Sure.
You might want to just reconsider based on what I do know about them.
Yeah.
And so that's the other thing. Trusting each other in the decisions that you make is critical.
Okay.
So critical. It's like, I would not go out with a guy friend, for example, unless he was real, like a real close friend. Jeff was okay with it, but I would never even ask.
Sure.
I wouldn't be that person.
Yeah.
Nor would he be that person that says, oh, I have an old girlfriend that's coming into town and we're going to go have coffee together. Is that okay?
R.I.P. Jeff.
Like, are you sure you want to do this? And why do you want to do this? And, so it's a definitely a trust issue. So it's not me feeling guilty about doing something.
Right.
It's just the communication. You got to communicate about your feelings.
Yeah. Now, there are people out there, and we know this because we hear stories about it all the time working here at Mary and Martha House. But there are people, and we'll kind of bring this back to the entitlement, that feel they are, I guess, they're more important in the relationship. And if said person wants to go out with said group of friends and they say, no, you can't go, or if they do go and then they get the silent treatment, for a couple weeks because they didn't like it. And in most cases, this is extreme because there's control and narcissism involved with it. But again, all lived experiences, if that's what you grew up watching, that's what you might grow up doing. So where does that fall into the entitlement spectrum, I guess?
In that situation, it sounds like you're talking about excessive entitlement, to where that person it's all about me. I want to do this on my own. I'm going to do this. I don't really care about your feelings and what you're going to do, but I'm going anyways.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this regardless of how you feel.
Yeah.
So they feel like they're entitled to go do that because whether they were raised that way or whatever it is that they're feeling, or they just don't feel good enough about themselves to say no, I'm not going to go, or strong enough to do that. They're just going to go do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Then that causes problems too, because what are they doing? Why are they becoming this person, this all about me person, and then leaving all this other stuff behind? Have they no regard?
I'm assuming, but I'll ask, you had relationships before you and Jeff had your 44-year marathon?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Which, did you find yourself falling into any of those entitlement categories in those early relationships based off of?
I found myself being in the restrictive relationship.
Okay.
Restrictive entitlement.
And what types of actions were
to
you?
where that was you fall into a hole.
Okay.
Where you don't think you're good enough for anything.
Mm.
You don't think that you can make a decision. You don't think that you can watch a baby or a child. You're not good enough for marriage. He's always out playing baseball or something that you have no friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that
so
kind
that's kind of it's so restricted meaning restricting yourself.
Correct.
Any entitlement.
Correct.
To a fault.
Correct.
Like,
so we're to the point where you start believing in the fact that you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Because you've been in this for so long that's normal.
Yeah.
It's hard to get yourself out of that because it's almost like a depression
mm-hmm.
where it takes years and years and years and years for you to feel like
you're re-engineering your brain.
Feel like you're good enough.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like I always thought I wasn't worthy enough that I got married because I wanted to get out of the house. And unfortunately, it didn't last 3 years.
Yeah.
I had a year and a half old child. And so I had to do something. I had to take care of this child somehow, you know? And it's, you just feel like you have nowhere to go. You have no one to turn to. You feel like life is just throwing darts at you everywhere you go. You feel like you've got little sticky notes all over you saying, I'm this person, I'm this person, I'm this person, I'm not this person, I'm not this person.
Yeah.
You know, and people are labeling you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you feel like, I'll never get out of this and I don't care anymore.
Mm.
And then you become mean because that's how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And life is thrown so many curveballs at you that you just feel like, okay, what's one more?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a dangerous slope to be on.
Right.
The last one though, assertive entitlement.
Yes, assertive
so
entitlement.
when I hear the word entitlement, I always think of bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like it annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the reason I'm not in hospitality anymore. It might be the reason why I'm not in hospitality anymore. Right. But you're saying this is actually a good thing.
Yes.
How?
So there are. I mean, first of all, the entitlement should never be in a relationship. That word entitlement.
It's fair.
Pull it out completely.
Sure.
It shouldn't be because exactly what you're saying is like people see that word and they think you're better than me and I'm this and I'm that or whatever. Right. And no, so I would like to pull that out completely and just say assertive. Okay. So when in a relationship, when you're assertive, you also would think.
No, see, I think assertive's a bad word too.
You would. That's what I was just going to say. I was just going to say, you think assertive is a bad word
I'm not
as well.
Boss. In fact, I'm not bossy. I'm just assertive.
You would think that, right?
Yeah.
You would think that. But when you're talking about assertive entitlements, you're talking about two people in a marriage or relationship that have to work together for a common good.
Sure.
You have got to come to a goal.
Yeah.
And what is that goal? You have to create the goal. How are you going to get there?
Mm-hmm.
So if the two of you are working assertively together to come up with a goal, then you're doing things together to achieve the common goal.
Okay. Got it.
So you're both assertive in that regard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see. You're going to go on a cruise and you have to save up for it. And it's going to cost a lot of money because you're going on this Mediterranean cruise that is lots of money. You're going on this and you're trying to save money to go on this. Assertively, you've got to come together and you've got to create a budget in order to achieve the common goal to go on this vacation.
I bet creating the budget is your favorite.
It's my favorite. Yes. But I will tell you, I've got him checking it almost every day.
Nice.
Every day checking it. It said, did you spend a dime? Did you spend $10? Where to go? What sort of, yeah. So yes. Fun. So that's what I'm talking about in entitlements. When you're working together assertively to come up with your end result, your end goal, what an achievement and what a great result that you come up with.
Sure.
And it's all flowers and all that when it comes at the end, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nice. All
Yeah.
right. So what's one thing before we go to break? What's one thing you can pull from that group session that you had on entitlement that maybe you hadn't thought of, or maybe caught you off guard, or made you think?
Good question. I have so many different personalities in group.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's every one of those personalities is needed.
Yeah.
So we have those that are aggressive, and we have the talkers, and we have the people that are just take it all in and process and then spew at the last minute.
Like a teapot.
Yeah. Yeah. We have all of those. It's so comforting to see these girls that feel comfortable enough that they can't wait to get there on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And that some of them come early.
Yeah.
And and they want to know what's next or what's coming up. Yes, there's an agenda. Yes, we're going to start this, but what happens next? You miss that. If you miss a week, you missed all the in-between stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's been a real eye-opener for me, because this is not something I wanted to do. I did not want to do a Bible study class.
Right.
From the very beginning. I didn't feel like I was equipped. I didn't feel I was able to do it. I didn't feel I had what it took to begin this. But I got jealous. This is what happened. I got jealous because Jeff had a Bible study class on Tuesday night. Right? And so I would come home from work.
Did he not recap with you?
No, we don't talk. The guys don't talk. We don't talk about each other's groups at all.
No. I mean, sat down. Did you not know that he had something going on Tuesday night?
Oh yeah, no. I knew.
Okay.
I knew he did. I didn't know what to do with myself. So on Tuesday nights, he'd have this group, and I would either close the door in the bedroom, and for 2 hours, I would be in there just reading a book or watching TV or doing something.
Yeah.
Like that. And it was like, and I can't get out of there because you can't go to the bathroom unless you go through the guys. Excuse me, going through the guys, and going across. You got to cross the room to go. And so I'm stuck. So I started to do something that. I started to take Tuesday night and figured out I can go to Home Depot.
As one does. Sure.
And I would take 2 hours at Home Depot just putting stuff down that I want for future. It was like, and he knew it was fine to go there because that's not my Toys R Us, that's his, So it's like, jot down all these things and then go searching and look. And before you know it, 2 hours over, I can go home. And they were getting ready to leave. And I was like, I can't do this every Tuesday night.
Yeah, no.
I couldn't do this every Tuesday night. And then I finally just sat down with him and I said, you know what? I'm just feeling a little left out.
Oh.
You've got these guys coming over and I have to hide or go somewhere because I don't want to be in the middle of your conversation.
Yep.
And so...
oh, that's funny.
So I started, he says, why don't you start your own group? And I said, no, I'm not. I don't, no. I'm not, I can't do this because I'm not equipped. I'm not qualified. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not this. And all those things came out again. And all those things, all the flashbacks came back again.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
You're not worthy. You can't do this. All of that came back. And I says, you know what? Maybe I will. So I started out with a couple of ladies, and then it's like word of mouth traveled. And it's like they told their friends, their friends, their friends. And I was like, okay. And at one point I had 19 ladies in there. I was like, okay, this is not bad.
We're doing it.
But there were too many.
Yeah.
There were too many. And so now there's like a good 7 or 8 that come, every week religiously.
Yeah.
They come every week, which is a nice small group. You can get to the nitty gritty of some things there.
Yeah.
And so that's how that all transformed. And so now I have a Tuesday night, and I have a Tuesday. So he has a Tuesday night and I have a Tuesday night. So
that's funny. We got one more topic to get to.
Oh, okay.
We got one more break to have though.
Okay.
On the other side, we'll continue our conversation with Lil. We'll be right back. still nervous? Are you feeling better? You're still nervous? Oh, man. And you get up every week and sing at church in front of a crap ton of people, and you're nervous to be here right now.
I can sing in front of 10,000 people, but I can't speak in front of 10,000 people.
Would it make it easier if I asked you to give me your responses in song?
I can make up a song. No, it's seriously, that's a difficult, that's very difficult. And I think it's because not saying the right thing or somebody misconstruing your topic.
Sure.
That in a song, I don't have to worry about that because
that's fair. Well, singing for me would be worse because I would miss a note or my voice would crack or something.
Well, the role reverse right there.
That's funny. That's funny. I'm keeping all this in, by the way. But so the last topic we discussed that we wanted to talk about centers around discouragement in a marriage, right? And this is a topic that you have. You've launched in the group, but you guys really haven't come full circle on it yet. So It's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
But what was the initial reaction when because if you tell me discouragement in a marriage, I think of, hey, I think I want to change careers. And the other person says, no, that's a bad idea. Stick with what you got. My wife wants to have a good job that's meaningful for her. And I say, no, I need you to make $200,000 or plus a year so that I can retire and play video games all day. I'm still working on that. It hasn't happened yet. But so how was the word discouragement received from your group when you brought that up?
Well, when we discussed the discouragement, we discussed again the roles, right? There's a part of this where it gets to the point where you make more money than I do. The woman makes more money than the husband. And the husband is feeling slighted because he feels like he should be the provider.
I feel like you're attacking me right now.
Oh, yeah?
Nancy makes more than I do.
Oh.
My problem is, again, I'd like to retire early. So I wish she would just make more. And I'd be done with it.
But it would be nice if everybody thought that way, right?
Yeah.
But they don't.
Sure.
They don't. So the discouragement happens when there's when in that situation where the wife makes more money than the husband does.
Oh yeah.
The husband feels slighted.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just a mail carrier or something, and the woman is a CPA.
Yeah.
And she makes all the money, and he's and it's just like he feels like he's incapable.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't have what it takes to get to this point, where she's done all the research, she's done all the schooling, she's done whatever it is that she needed to do to get to where she's at.
Yeah.
To make a good life for herself as well as for him, but his feelings are that I'm not that man anymore. And so he feels a little less.
Do you think
less of a man?
Do you think there could be some insecurities in there that if he does not make as much as she does and she decides to leave him,
it's possible, and it probably has come up.
Yeah.
It probably has come up. And in a lot of marriages it does do that.
Yeah.
They do that.
Yeah.
Because it's like the male person feels inferior.
Yeah.
Due to what society has labeled them as,
that old
the
school
male
thinking. Yeah.
does this,
right.
The female does this.
Right.
Right. And now women are stepping up to the plate, and they're coming up, and they're getting, they're moving up in the corporate world.
Yeah. Still not getting paid the same, but that's
and men
another
are,
topic.
and men are just falling by the wayside in some cases, not all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just saying there. So that was one of the discouraging topics that came up, is like, how do I make him feel better because I'm doing this? I know he just feels inferior.
Is it her job?
No, it's not.
To do that?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not her job. But as a wife and mother,
someone who cares,
and spouse, somebody who cares, you hate to see your spouse feel and fall into a trap like that when you could care less how much money he makes.
Right, right.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just, in that case, I just make more money than you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think not that we are poster children for marriage by any means. But like I said, my wife makes a significant amount more than I do. But she also takes on a significant more expenses than I do in the house. And we've talked about this a few times, and she's okay with that. And, and so it's more proportionate than it is, cut down 50-50 as far as the expenses are concerned. Because we don't share a bank account. We keep our finances separate. And it works for us. It doesn't always work for everyone. Everyone's got their own niche, in a way. What kind of conversation did you get out of that from the group? Because that sounds like one that would light a fire.
No, actually it turned the other way. It turned to empathy.
Really?
And turned to,
Okay.
it turned to a lot of encouragement.
Nice.
To the point where it's like, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Let's do whatever we have to do to make him feel better. I think it was. I can't say that I don't know him well enough to know the story and what it is, but what she shared was that sometimes he feels like he's not man enough. Not man enough, and then it's like because of that one situation can ruin a life, can ruin a marriage. I mean, if my husband made more or less than me, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But I know he does.
But it's kind of like you were saying earlier, marriage isn't a two-way street; it's a one-way street.
Yes.
And you guys have to be on together.
Yes.
And
yes.
There should be no competition. There should
Correct.
there should be no hierarchy.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I can honestly tell you, when we fell into that trap, when Jeff lost his job, he felt that way.
Yeah.
He truly did feel that way.
Yeah.
He felt like, not that he's going to fall into a depression or anything like that, but his ego got kicked.
Yeah.
And he felt like, I can't even provide for my own family, and I'm supposed to be the man of the house. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's tough to fall into that, and that's total discouragement in a marriage, and the only way out of that is to communicate, to have some of those hard talks.
Yeah.
And to really discuss. It's like, I love you regardless.
Yeah.
Of whether you make $100 million or if you make $10.
Yeah.
I still love you, and we'll work this thing out together.
Yeah.
We'll do whatever we have to do to get this back on track.
It's weird, and I know we're focusing on the whole employment thing, but it's weird that is the number one killer. Is that?
Yeah.
But why? Like it. Very rarely will somebody get divorced because they don't like the way their spouse dresses, or they don't like, the toothpaste they use, or like things that should matter because it's person to person. Sometimes don't matter as much as that dollar figure that's coming in.
Yeah.
Like it's weird.
Yeah. I think part of that is because we're programmed, and it's hard for you to think that you're not going to be able to pay the mortgage.
Right.
Or you're not going to be able to pay your car payment or whatever it is that you have, those incidentals, those bills that you have to have, that you have that come every month, whether you like it or not, and when you can't do that, you don't know where to turn. You're falling into a hole that you've never been before. And so the man and the wife actually together, they feel like, where do I go from here? You have to lose the house, you have to move, you have to do whatever you have to do in order to fit into that lifestyle where you were. And it's a hard place to be.
Yeah. Yeah. On the other side, though, if you have two people that are willing to take that ride with each other and go through those situations with each other with love, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
Life will suck compared to what it used to be, specifically financially. But hopefully it's only financially, and you guys are still able to, and I'm sure you've seen it. I've seen it with friends who were couples, and they went through hard times, and they had to, they had to downgrade from their single family home to, a little shack.
For sure.
Unfortunately, it does happen, but so, they made it through and made it through together. And I'm sure there were arguments in the house mostly having to do with money or lack thereof.
Yeah.
But they were able to rebound and get back to it
Yeah.
and move back into that single family home down the line.
Right.
But they just they never faltered, or at least we didn't see it. You know,
Right.
they moved through loving each other and were able to get through
Right.
that.
Right. And that's super important. I think too, though, one of the other things that was discussed was how you fly by the seat of your pants,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just going through the motions. And it's like every day is just
the motions of marriage.
We're just going through motions. We just see each other in passing.
Yeah.
And we don't know what anybody's doing.
Yeah.
Whether you work nights and they work days, and then they sleep, and then you find time in between there to eat or to do something.
And maybe not even together.
Maybe not even together. And so that was a topic too, is like, how do you combat that? How do you get over some of that? Because you're married and you have a life together and you have a home together, but yet you're living in two different worlds.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're so alone in a stadium of 10,000 people. You're still alone.
Yeah. What were some of the answers or some of the feedback on?
Well, a lot of it was too that like, well, this is all we have. This is all I can do. No, that's not true.
Yeah.
You can find another job or work days or nights or whatever it is that you choose to do. You can do that. You can make time for each other somewhere in there. Even if it's 15 minutes in passing, take that 15 minutes to regroup, to give each other a hug, to know that you care until you're able to do something different.
Yeah.
Communicate, have some empathy for each other. Don't do this, walking right by each other and saying, I got to hurry, I got to go do this, I got to go back to work, I got to do this.
Yeah.
It's like, take a moment, process through that moment, and give each other a love hug.
Yeah.
And know that, hey, we'll get through this, and one day we won't be this way.
Yeah.
Communication, empathy, and just going through those hard times together.
Yeah. Did anybody talk about personal stories relating to discouragement in their marriage?
Sure, but I'm not going to discuss those.
Were there? Let me ask you, with those personal stories, how did the room react?
Probably mixed feelings, because there's relationship problems, issues, and some of them have families that are disconnected. Some of them have children that are not in the area, or they're coming back. A single mom, and there's four children in the house.
Yeah.
They're all older, but they're all coming back because the life just hit them hard.
Yeah.
And they're starting to regroup and come back into the fold and do things again. What does mom do? Mom opens her heart, opens her home, and just come back in, and and then until you're able to get back on your feet and do that. And that could be months, and it could be years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just don't ever know.
And you brought up a good point too. We're talking predominantly with relationships, but all of this applies to family dynamics as well.
Sure.
Not just a, boyfriend, girlfriend,
Correct.
husband, wife, whatever the situation is. It doesn't have to be intimate. It can be family driven.
Right.
And discouragement was was a big thing for me growing up. And it was, and this was from my family, and things that, I was taking initiative with and trying new things. And it was always, that's never going to work. You don't know how to do that. You can't do this, I remember in middle school, might've been high school. I had a science fair project. We had one every year. And the science fair project that I came up with, was, actually, I don't even remember what it was. I think it had to do with citrus fruits and electricity or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So years previous, my mom would always help me with the science fair project.
Oh, yeah.
This was the first year I went out on my own.
Yeah.
And I did my own science fair project. So, she said, you got science fair this year? Like, yeah, I'm doing this. She goes, well, I think you should do this. We could do this and this and that. And I was like, nope, I'm cool. I'm doing this one. And I wanted to do it on my own. Well, that kind of pissed her off. She wanted to be involved with it. So after I finished the science fair project, and I'm getting ready to take it to school to present. And she looks at me and she goes, "That's the stupidest science fair project I've ever seen." And I was like, "Whoa, okay." So I went to school with my science fair project. I actually won first place, and I came home with my first place ribbon. And I did everything I could to ensure she knew and remembered that I got first place for my science fair project.
Yeah.
And she still couldn't accept it. She goes, "Well, people at your school must be morons, or whoever graded it must be morons." So there is discouragement, in a family setting as well.
Yeah.
That can also lead to relationship discouragement.
Correct.
Again,
correct.
Going back to what you've experienced.
Yes. So there's also verbal issues,
Mm-hmm.
In learning how to communicate with each other
Mm-hmm.
and not being the kind of person that always has to have the upper hand.
Right. The last word.
The last word.
Oh, man.
You can't have the last word.
Me and my wife are bad at that. We'll do it to each other, though, in a playful manner.
Oh, well, that's different in a playful manner.
Yeah.
But remember, too, though, and even in a playful manner, sometimes it's truth that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, at least if you recognize that, that's fine. But sometimes it doesn't come out that way. I'm
the one that shuts down. So anybody I argue with will always get the last word because I just I shut off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a big one.
There's a lot of spouses and a lot of family members that don't communicate.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of family members also that the minute you tick them off, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done, and then they're gone forever.
Yeah.
They don't want to come back into the fold. They don't care. You really just messed up their life. And a lot of marriages are like that too.
Mm.
And there are some marriages and some relationships, whether it be husband, wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, those kinds of relationships that don't know how to communicate. And once the communication halts, then there's discouragement, there's depression, there's anxiety, there's, you can't do this, I can't do that, let me take a pill, let me do this, let me get over this,
Yeah.
And then what happens after that is that you get to a point where it's like, because you're already in that, you get deeper.
Mm-hmm.
You go deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And so all over communication, all over because you don't know how to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
There's a couple that I know that, not in our group, but there's a couple that I know that have issues with talking to each other without getting angry.
Okay.
So when they talk to each other, there's like they're nitpicking at every word that is said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you said this, and it's like, no, that's not what I meant. If you really listened to it, you would have heard this.
Yeah.
No, you said this. And it's like an argument back and forth. It's totally discouraging.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it's hurtful. It's hurtful to each other.
Yeah.
And so they go. I've seen them do it in my house. It's like they go back and forth. It's like, you guys married? Like, are you really doing this in front of other people?
Yeah. And then it festers too, because typically right after poor communication comes no communication.
Yes.
And so they take it from, button heads, and then both of them get pissed off. They stop talking, and but it's still there. Mm-hmm. That underlying issue is still there. It's still festering. It's a killer.
But there's a facade they put on too in front of other people as well. It's like they may do that now in front of you maybe, but then they'll go out and they'll do it, and they're all lovey-dovey, happy people out in front of it. They put on this facade that is so fake.
Yeah.
That's what they know. That's what they know how to do. And everybody thinks, oh, they're such a happy couple. This is all this and this and this. And if you only knew underlying what was going on behind the closed doors, you wouldn't think that much of them. Why do people do that? Why are people different from home life to work, from work to going out with other people?
Sure.
I was like, why can't you just be who you are?
Yeah.
And that's who I was way back in the day.
Yeah.
I became somebody that whoever you wanted me to be, that's who I was.
Yeah.
If you wanted to go out to a bar or something like that, oh yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
no problem. All inside of me, I'm saying, I shouldn't go. I don't really want to, but I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, because you're my friend. And we're going to go.
Pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man pleasing. Man pleasing. And that's the discouragement is not that you're a man pleasing, is that you're putting on this fake persona. You're making people think something else that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's total discouragement in family dynamics, in life that you're leading, you're supposed to be leading.
Yeah.
In your family situations, your children, and the people around you that you love. So I remember somebody telling me, you're more involved in your church than you are with your family. I'm like, ooh, that hit.
Yeah.
That hit hard.
Yeah.
And I had to do some self-thinking.
Sure.
I had to really think about that. And I did a calendar. And I said, well, how many times is this really real?
Yeah.
And you know what? They're right.
Wow.
I was putting more time in church activities than I was in my own family. And I had to readjust. I had to do some self-examination.
Yeah.
And to come down to that and say, you know what? I'm cutting this, and this out. I'm not doing it anymore.
You had to be assertive.
Mm-hmm. I did. My calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you weren't just man-pleasing me to agree to do this.
No.
On a busy week that you've had.
No, because I would have told you. I'm that person now.
Yes, wonderful. Well, hopefully won't be the only one.
Yeah.
If you're okay with that, because I mean, as long as you guys are talking about these things, like I said, some of the conversations we have are just, they fascinate me. And I love having those conversations. And even if nothing is said about the actual group, you and I can just go off on a tangent talking about these topics for hours.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and then even catching up like a couple days later to be like, you know what else I thought of after we got done talking? Yeah. So, so I love the topics. I love the variety of the topics as well. And we'll dig into some other things, as you progress with your group. I'm excited.
Or not.
Awesome.
Or not.
Well, thanks again, Lo. I really
You're
appreciate
very
it.
welcome.
Thank
You're
you.
very welcome.